What is going on, guys? So I'm back today to talk about a film I saw while I was scrolling on Prime Video that was starring Sydney Sweeney. And this is a movie that was released, I believe, in 2020 that I wanted to get a chance to see because I thought the poster looked really awesome. And so I finally sat down and watched it. And the movie I'm going to be talking about today is Nocturne. Nocturne is directed by Zu Quirke. Inside the halls of an elite arts academy, a timid music student begins to outshine her more accomplished and outgoing twin sister when she discovers a mysterious notebook belonging to a recently deceased classmate. I really didn't know what to expect when I watched this movie, and I ended up really enjoying it for the most part. I think it's definitely a lot of what we've seen before. I saw a lot of comments where people said you can see elements of like Suspiria or Whiplash in this, and 100% you can. And I think what really makes this movie work is Sydney Sweeney. Her performance in this is really entertaining. You can tell that she's really committed to the material, and I think without her it probably wouldn't work the same. I don't think the movie would be as impactful or entertaining as it is. But as the synopsis says, the film starts with Sydney Sweeney and her twin sister. They're at this academy together where this young girl who was one of the most prestigious musicians at the academy ended up committing suicide. The Sydney Sweeney's sister is constantly excelling above her, and one day Sydney Sweeney is going through the school and she ends up finding that girl's notebook, and there's all these things inside of it, and she notices that when she reads it, that very shortly after the things in the notebook start happening that make her life change, and she thinks that this might be the solution to bring her to stardom or to get her better at piano or all of those things that she could want, which then you notice the ramifications of that are the strains in the relationships that she already has. So like I said, this isn't anything you haven't seen in a movie before. I feel like this type of material has existed for a really long time, but I don't think that takes away from how much fun this movie is at moments. It's really well shot and it's very atmospheric. I do think there are some moments in this that seem to drag a little bit too long, but aside from that, I was always engaged in the ideas that the film were trying to convey. And this whole premise of like wanting to be the best at something and pushing yourself to the point of like exhaustion and shutting yourself off from the entire world, not being able to experience life because you want to push yourself to the point of exhaustion to become the best at what you're doing, is something I think that a lot of people can relate to. And this movie does a good job of conveying that, while also on the inverse showing how no one believes that you can actually do the thing that you want to do, which I think is an even harder thing to watch, because I think there's so many people out there who have wanted to do something with their life that have been told you can't do that or you'll never be the best at that. And that's almost an even more difficult pill to swallow. But I think the movie looks at that subject matter in a really unique way that I appreciated. Obviously, when the supernatural elements in this kick in, I was interested to see what type of a direction that it was going to go, and it handled all of it really well. There's not a lot of like jump scare moments in this movie, but there is enough to keep you entertained and wondering what's going to happen next. And I really liked that a lot. I think the character dynamics in this were all relatively well handled. A couple of the performances in this are really not good, but like I said, Sydney Sweeney does such a great job that she keeps the movie going in the best way possible, and I appreciate that about her. I feel like her career is just starting to take off, and everything I've seen her in so far I've really enjoyed. I think that she's a talented actress, and she really gives it her all in this movie. It felt very different than a lot of the performances I've seen her give in the past. And I also love the musical element of this film. I love any movies that are sort of centered around the idea of musicians and what they have to go through to kind of perfect their craft, and adding that supernatural twist onto it really made it for a unique experience. And like I said, while this movie isn't perfect, it's still entertaining, and I think if you watch it, you'll find something to appreciate in it. So have you seen Nocturne? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was really entertaining. I don't think that it's perfect. I think it definitely has some problems, but I still had a lot of fun watching it, and I think it was interesting subject matter. As always, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.